Did you know that you can create escape rooms that are perfect for lessons using Google NotebookLM? This video is going to explore how you can create those, what some of the different examples are, and the prompt that you can use. I want to say a huge thank you to Philip Alcock, who I discovered this from. I will leave a link to his LinkedIn and his Substack in the description and comments of this video. Again, I will be using the prompt that he's created, so huge thank you for that. And I'm privileged enough to be able to showcase other people who have great ideas. So again, make sure you go and check out his page. To start off with, one of the reasons this works really well is it's PedTech. And what I mean by that, it's pedagogy before EdTech. You're able to give children a purpose for the learning, and then that purpose is something that they go on and they're more motivated to complete whatever it is that you're setting. I could just give children a set of questions to do with maths after I've taught them, but that motivation is not necessarily going to be there. So this simple prompt and format is a really easy way to get children motivated to get to the end of your lesson, which is brilliant, and it can be used for a couple of different subjects. In fact, I would argue with some of the ways that I'm going to show you, it could be used for every subject. So let's jump in. To start off with, this is NotebookLM. I've made a plethora of different tutorials to support with showing you how to use Google NotebookLM and the ways that you can use it too. To start off with, then you press create a new notebook and you're going to add in the source. You're only going to add in one source. You can put multiple in, but you're only going to make the lesson based on one source of information. You could use a YouTube video, which would be quite interesting. I'm simply going to do a screenshot. The way I got the questions is I went into a website called MathSpot. And in MathSpot, it's great for generating different questions. I went into primary. It does have a few adverts, which can be a bit more frustrating. On MathSpot, I went into the Do Now section, and for this example, I wanted addition. This is great because you can manipulate it based on the different things that you need. I am going to go for a set of questions here, and then from there, all I'm going to do is simply screenshot those different questions. I've already done this, so I'm going to simply go into this where it says sources. I'm going to go add source, upload file, and then I'm going to drag that screenshot in. So once I've got the screenshot, I'm simply going to drag it in and I'm going to let it load. So you can see 3-digit column addition worksheet. It's simply got it. What I could do is give it the answers inside that worksheet. I'm then going to take my prompt and I'm going to paste it in. So using this worksheet as the skill is being practiced, write a short 10 slide deck escape room narrative within a slide deck. So I'm going to take the prompt, which is here, using this worksheet as the skill being practiced, write a short 10 slide deck escape room narrative within a slide deck where a student must learning goals to unlock clues and escaped. 1 cover page, 3 stages, 3 narratives, 3 question slide, 3 answer slide. Each stage uses 2 problems for the worksheet. So it's all very focused and very laid out. Each problem is solved to reveal part of a code. It's all really specific, nicely formatted, and then from there we simply run it. Just a very quick one. If you haven't yet had a chance to check out EdTech Empowered, it's full of 83 tools to help you save time, innovate, and make learning a little bit more exciting. I know you're going to absolutely love it because you're on this video in the first place. So that guide is perfect for you, and you'll find a link to it either up there or in the description. And you can see it's designing, it's thinking, it's refining the slide deck, and you can see this is then what's created. So we've got escape from the island cave. You finally find a shiny gold chest, but it has a big lock. Solve the math to find the first code. So there's the question. Does it line up? If it does, the answer's there. Then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, and so on and so forth until we get to the final code. And then the children could come up and ask you, is this the right answer? And, you know, hopefully they've got it right, etc. And they're able to progress with that. So just a really simple way of giving that information. Yeah, brilliant. Really strong. And what I love about this is it isn't too complex. What I would say is with the math, just double check it. Again, a nice questions and answer sheet would be beneficial there too. Let me give you another example of ways that I've used this. So this is a PDF that I inputted. It's a PDF of a model text that I've created using AI. It's a diary entry of an Egyptian child's day in the life, etc. So, jumping out, thick black coal under my eyes to protect them from the scorching desert heat. For breakfast, I enjoyed some crunchy bread and a sweet bowl of lentils, etc., etc. And then what it's got underneath it, it's got all the different retrieval questions. Again, it was nicely set out when I created this PDF, and then I've just uploaded that PDF into this. And what's great about this is then the children can go away with the model text and the questions, or I can give them this. And what I like about this is it's giving them that kind of ancient Egyptian feeling. So then, again, it's because discovery in the sands. You find a locked gold chest buried in the sand near the River Nile. To get the first part of the code, you must look at Ameni's morning routine. So then from there, what did Ameni put under his eyes to protect them? What did Ameni eat for breakfast? So we've just read that. So he ate lentils and bread. So then, yeah, crunchy bread and lentils. I didn't put the adjective in there. And then we keep going. Oh, we've worked it out. We've worked it out. We've worked it out. Oh, final challenge. There we go. And the part there is bears. So the final code is Ra, Nile, bears, etc. It's giving the children that purpose for their learning. And with that, then, there's loads of different ways that you could do this. You could have science, where they've got to look at key vocabulary or certain procedural things. You could look at geography, different things for facts that they're looking at, different flags, all sorts of different things with that. English, if you're looking at different grammar features, you could look at those specific grammar features and have it lined up, and you could potentially have certain key sentences with things underneath. There's so many different ways, and this prompt, although it's there for you, you can tailor and tweak this prompt and have it so that the format perhaps is a certain sentence, and then have that sentence with a bold word, and that bold word is the, you know, different grammatical feature and the different word class that they need to look into. My brain boggles of some of the different ways that you can use this, but I'm sure in the comment section you're going to add some of the different ways that you think you could use this too. As always, make sure you go and check out my website that is full of all sorts of different EdTech ideas, and my guide EdTech Empowered, which is full of 80 free tools for educators. I'm sure you're going to absolutely love it. If you haven't already taken the time to subscribe to this channel, make sure you do so. I'm making all sorts of different AI and EdTech videos completely for free at the moment, just supporting as many teachers as possible. So feel free to spread the word, and hopefully I see you in another video. Until then, I'm out.